How's it going, Grade A Nation? Chris Thomas here. Hope you're having a grade A kind of day. And on this installment of Grade A Nation, I am here with Christian Birkenberger. He's an actor, and he was on the 23rd season of the U.S. version of Big Brother on CBS.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You can catch him at Instagram.com/Christian_Birkenberger, Twitter.com/CBirkenberger, and TikTok.com/@Christian_Birkenberger. And you seem to get quite a few views on TikTok, but you even admit in a video that TikTok is not really your thing. So which social media platform is your favorite and why?
Yeah, so Instagram is definitely my favorite. It seems like with TikTok, there's just a lot of pressure to post entertaining content. I don't know why I don't feel as much pressure on Instagram or Twitter, but Instagram is definitely my most active account. Although 2022, I'm forcing myself to be more active on TikTok as I see it's a pretty marketable platform that I really should be on.
And there are some videos of you on there playing the piano, and I was just thinking, was that you actually playing?
Yeah,
Because your fingers aren't shown hitting the keys, and that would be
that's
hilarious if you just dubbed in the piano sound.
I never even thought about that when recording that, but yes, that is me. Trust me, it's me. If it weren't me, I'm pretty sure the audio would be a lot better. But yes, that's me playing the piano. I haven't played in a long time, but I used to love it a lot.
Yeah, it seems like you have a lot of talents. Like, you weren't that bad, in all honesty.
Thank you. I appreciate. I mean, I like to think of this argument that I was too good, which is why I was taken out. As far as
Ah,
winning competitions, it just helps me get through the day mentally.
now you were a fan of Big Brother going into it, and you said being on the show was definitely fun, given that you were a fan of the show. What was it about the show that caught your interest and made you a fan in the first place?
So I have said that I was a fan, but I'm a fairly recent fan, and my love for the show really came from another show, Survivor. And I was a huge fan of Survivor, and Survivor airs what twice a year, 2 seasons a year, and then there's the summer. So when Survivor's not on, what else is there? There's Big Brother. So I became obsessed with Big Brother after being a longtime Survivor fan, and I made the connections between the two shows as far as you're fighting for your safety. You're competing in these competitions. You're competing for power. So I really related the two shows, and then my interest started. My interest was peaked after that because it's another show similar to Survivor, but I really like the physical aspect of both shows, and that's probably what my biggest draw to both of them were. Although I feel that Big Brother has a bigger social game than Survivor.
Now, after being a fan of reality television as a viewer, how did the experience as a participant in reality television change your views about the genre in any way?
It's a good question. It hasn't. I would say it really hasn't made me like it or dislike it anymore. It hasn't changed my overall opinion of it. All it's done is really, and now I understand it more. So it hasn't changed my overall opinion on it. It just now I get how it works. I understand, the behind the scenes of it all, and really how the show is manufactured and put together in order, for fans to view it once a week or 3 times a week. But now I just have a bit better understanding of how things work, and I think that's just really cool from a viewer and acting standpoint because it's really cool for me to always know like the behind the scenes and production of things. But it really hasn't changed my opinion as far as my love for it. Because I would love to do another show if I had the opportunity, definitely.
I was gonna ask that, but I mean, I'll ask it now. Do you think that if you were to participate in another show, say Survivor, that you might be typecast or boxed in as the reality TV show guy and not necessarily get as many opportunities and other avenues in the
Yes.
entertainment industry?
So that is an internal battle that I had with myself prior to even going on Big Brother because, as you said, to start this podcast off with, I am an actor. That is my primary focus, and that has been my dream since I was born. That's really been the only thing I've ever wanted. As much as I love, reality TV, the focus is is acting. And so, yeah, I had that internal battle with myself prior to coming on the show, and I have a management and team behind me to help make and debate these decisions. And we all figured that going on a show like Big Brother was going to be totally fine at my age because I'm 23 years old. A lot of people make it as successful actors at all different stages in their life. So we kind of figured at 23 years old, we're not losing that opportunity. So we are aware of the fact that maybe going on another show could be negative for my acting career. Um, but that hasn't happened yet. So we kind of, me personally, me personally, I live day to day. I get too overwhelmed if I think long term, but that's what my team is for. That's what my manager is for, and so I think that's just another discussion we have to have later on. But right now, I'm looking forward to my acting career, and I'm picking up classes, getting coaches, training every night as far as memorizing scripts, auditioning. I had an audition today, so I'm really focusing, diving in fully, and investing everything I have into acting. And if another show comes along, I 100% will consider it, and I will need to have the conversation with my management team. But our options are definitely open.
That's good, keeping your options open. In Big Brother, you did well in the competitions, but you don't really have that conniving and scheming personality of a lot of competitors in
Yeah.
reality TV shows historically. Do you attribute your performance in the competition aspect of the show to your knowledge about reality TV, or was it some other factor?
So it's just really based on the fact of like how I was growing up or how I grew up, who I am as a person, and that's just not who I am as far as backstabbing, lying, conniving. That's not who I am. But the physical aspect has always been there. I always played sports growing up, and so I kind of knew that my strengths would be the physical side of the challenges, and maybe my weaknesses would absolutely be the social game as far as when I need to step it up and kind of be a more aggressive uh, player when it comes to lying and stuff like that. So I definitely think that impacted my game, but I don't regret it because that's not who I am. And as I said, my focus is, I don't want to be known for reality TV. I don't want to be known for Big Brother. I want to be known as an actor. So it almost kind of worked out in my benefit because I did leave pre-jury. I was the last one to leave pre-jury. And so I'm not known as a Big Brother guy. I mean, at the moment, yes, I am. But I think as seasons go on and years go on, I think that will be forgotten. I'll be able to continue on with my acting career. But I'm glad I stayed true to who I am as far as, my personality of not being a deceiving, lying person, because I think people really understand who I am. And I think that's important as an actor and someone who now is on being watched on social media and stuff. I think it's important that I stayed true because, when I came off the show, I didn't have to be anyone but myself.
And you said you wanted to stay in touch with the cast after the show. When you were evicted, you were emotional seeing the departing messages sent from your castmates, and you said you can envision being friends with every person in the house for a long time. And I did notice in preparing that, a lot of social media posts of you and Brittany hanging out, and you
Mhm.
had a Zoom meetup for Frenchie's birthday. But have you stayed in touch with the whole group as much as you would have liked? And do you think there will be a time, given your interest in acting, where you feel less of a need to stay in touch with the group?
Yeah, so to answer the first part of the question, as far as if I feel like we've hung out as much as I anticipated hanging out while leaving the show, absolutely. I've seen other casts in past seasons, and I've heard it multiple times from fans and even other castmates and even production. The fact is, no other cast is this close post show. There's always a lot of drama. I think everyone can agree our season was pretty low on the drama aspect. And because of that, we're able to maintain strong relationships with each other that weren't impacted negatively by the show. So it's great. And I'm definitely in contact with everyone because I really will say everyone because that's the fact. I talk to everyone, maybe not every day, but at least once a week. I will have a conversation, a quick hi, something with every single member of the cast, which is something that I wanted to do and I looked forward to doing after the show. And, we've all stuck true to that. Um, the second part of your question, as far as do I feel like as time goes on and our careers kind of separate, because I'm not sure who else in the cast has the same desire as I do, career wise. I feel that there will be separation, only because as time goes on, we don't live in the same town, we don't live that close to each other. So the fact is, over time we will grow apart. I don't think we'll ever stop communicating with each other for very long. But yeah, I think that as meetups happen, as time goes on, I may not be present for every single meetup because I would like to focus at 23 years old on my career, because I really feel like now's the time to do it. And if I keep going to these meetups when there's potential time to grow in my area, my field, and my passion, then I could be doing myself a disservice by wasting that time. But not necessarily wasting the time in the fact that it's not good spending it with them. Just I need to focus on myself right now.
Yeah, branching out.
Hmm.
Now, your season, as you say, didn't really have too much drama, but there was the Cookout Alliance, which had a goal of having the first ever African American winner of Big Brother. In retrospect, and I know you have positive thoughts about everyone, but did the racial dynamic hurt the quality of the show or the season in any way by making something that is supposed to be lighthearted fun more serious in an effort to make a statement about race in reality TV?
Yeah, so it's hard to answer that question as a player, because I've heard both ends of the stories from fans that this is what's needed, and some are like, this is not necessarily what's needed right now. But as a player, listen, I just came to play. So do I really care as far as if the fans got their entertainment this season because of the dynamic of the cast? That's not really my problem, and that's not something that I really feel I need to comment on, only because I was a player. My focus was to go in and win. And when it comes to the dynamic of the cast, that's the casting process. And I really think they did a great job because, like I said, this cast is extremely close, closer than any other cast before. So I really feel that maybe this is something that was needed to happen. And my personal opinion on it is that this is a great cast. I don't think I would do anything differently. And this season's outcome was exactly what needed to happen.
And as a part of the show, there were the Big Brother live feeds streamed on Paramount Plus, where people can drop in and see what is happening at the house. It seems like an obvious question, but is there ever a sense of self consciousness about being watched all the time and the fact that the crew knows things like your eating patterns, the time you go to the bathroom usually? Did you ever feel like a sense of privacy was stripped away from you being on the show?
Yeah, kind of like a, fish in a fishbowl. So I totally get that. And that's your mindset going in. You know what you sign up for, right? And so you're going in there, you have that opinion, you're going to be watched every second of the day. But I'm telling you, after the first week, even less. After the first, if I'm being honest with you, after the first 2 or 3 days, you forget, which is unbelievable, because they're all two-way mirrors. People are back there looking at you, but you can't see them. And it's just something you forget. And when you forget it, you don't really have the time to think about it or have the opinion of like, wow, yeah, this is strange. But in hindsight, yeah. In hindsight, yeah, that is strange. It is weird. But you don't think about it while you're there. You're just living in the moment. And at least that's me. I'm someone who lives that way, lives in the moment, and enjoys the time that they have there. And so I'm not really thinking about others' opinions, or the fact that I'm being watched because I don't see it in the moment.
How supportive have viewers of the show been now, months removed from the program, and how does it feel knowing that you have a fan base?
My fans are the best. They really are. And I say that because they're just it really seems that they're not problematic. And I'm not saying that other people's fans are problematic, but rarely are there any fights on Twitter, fights on social media, fights on Instagram, fights on anywhere that involve me. And if they don't involve me, it doesn't involve my fans, which I'm very thankful for. But on the rare occasions where I have been involved, not through fault of my own, just where my name has been brought up. I also have them for defense. They step in before I'm even able to, and so I absolutely love my fans and appreciate them, and I love every opportunity I have to interact with them and thank them. So I really love my fans, and as far as the fan base, yeah, I mean that's strange. That's strange. We could say 6 months ago I went on a show with a total following of, I mean, if we're not including TikTok, then maybe 3,000 people on Instagram. So we go from 3,000 people to a few months later having a fan base of a few, like maybe with TikTok included and Instagram, we're talking over 100,000. So it is crazy. It is insane. And the pressure is there. But I'm extremely appreciative of them. And months later, they're still there. They're still supporting me. So I love that. I love that fact. And rarely do I see comments that are negative, but very, very rarely will I see the negative comments. And that's all I can ask for. Moving on is just that people continue to support me.
What has been the strangest interaction or encounter you have had with the fans so far?
So one morning, I was walking home. I was walking back to my car from my friend's house because I parked far away. I just stepped at his house that night, parked far away, and I'm talking early in the morning. So I'm walking back on the main road. Obviously, this is post show. I'm walking back on the main road from my friend's house to my car, which is maybe a mile away, but I'm saying early in the morning. Early. We're talking 3, 4 a.m. And that center lane between the two lanes that either lane can pull in to turn left or right into, like, let's say a grocery store or something.
Sure, yeah.
Somebody whipped, and I'm walking, like I said, I'm walking. Someone whipped into that lane on the other side of the road. So very dangerous because anyone from either side of the road could go into that lane to make a turn. And so he whipped into that center lane on the other side of the road. First of all, I was impressed that he even recognized me going the opposite direction at a high speed. It was just, and then made the unsafe decision to pull in that center lane, roll down his window and ask if I was Christian from Big Brother. Then obviously I said I was, asked for a selfie, and drove off. At that moment, I was like, dude, you see me walking, like on the side of the road, right? Like, you thought he could offer me a ride to my car or something. I still had like a mile left to walk. And man, it was early. I was like, I'm not trying to walk this far. But that was definitely the most interesting interaction that I've had. But you know what? I love the story. And I'm someone that doesn't regret anything. So it's one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that's a great representation of my fan base. We're spontaneous. And, everything is done out of the goodness of their heart. They just wanted a picture, wanted to say hello. And I love that because that's truthfully my fan base.
Now, I know you have a team. You have a P.O. box. Do you personally go through the mail or do you have someone else do it? Because I'm sure there's the occasional pair of unwashed underwear and raunchy photos sent your
Uh,
way. So,
so the PO box is very new. As of 2022, I've only checked it once, and thankfully, I haven't encountered anything of that sort yet. But I do go through it myself. I've made one trip, like I said. I got 2 packages today. I know one package is still on the way from another fan, but that is something I'm extremely excited about in 2022 because I see some of the stuff that other fans get or other house guests get. And it's not about what they get. It's the surprise of it. Like, I'm a huge Christmas fan because of the surprise of it all. So it's always very interesting to see what I'm about to open. And I'm actually doing them on live. So maybe I should not do them on live, depending if that's something that I'll open. But so far, so good. And I'm excited about it.
now what has it felt like being on a long running national TV show and earning fame in the middle of a pandemic? Do you think the experience would have been more enjoyable or allowed for more professional opportunities being cast on the show outside of the pandemic, or do you like how things turned out as is?
So I really feel everything happens for a reason. This is my time. This is my age. This was my everything to succeed at this point in my life. So whatever's supposed to happen is really meant to happen. As I said earlier, I left when I was supposed to leave pre-jury. I haven't really found the reason yet, but I know it happened for a reason, and so I'm excited to figure out why. But I really feel that I went on this show at the time I needed to, and maybe it could possibly the reason why is because I was able to be on this season and meet the people that I met. This was a historic season. These are incredible people and house guests that like I said, plan to be friends with for life and continue to communicate with for life. And so maybe everything happened for a reason where I'm supposed to be where I'm at now because of it. So I don't have any regrets, and I really feel that potentially the opportunities, professional or not, could have been different, or I really feel they would have been different in a different situation with a different season without the pandemic. But different isn't always better, so it could have been negative. I could have gotten some flack from the season I was on. So everything happened for a reason. The pandemic is happening for some sort of reason. I'm not sure why yet, but I was supposed to be on this season with the pandemic for sure.
And one of your nicknames on the show was Golden Doodle. And a quote you said stood out to me when talking about that because in an interview with Entertainment Tonight Canada, you said, "quote In every sense of the word, I am loyal and forgiving, just like a golden doodle." End quote. How
Yes,
might
yeah.
how might being loyal and forgiving be an asset or a hindrance trying to make a name for yourself in the entertainment industry, which can be quite cutthroat?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It could be. And entertainment industry obviously does include a professional actor as well as entertainment and reality TV. So it is different answers for different parts of the industry. Cause yeah, when it comes to reality TV, being a golden doodle, as far as, the aspects of a golden doodle being loyal, forgiving, clearly, as I've shown, aren't the best. But with my interest being fully committed to acting, um, that's not something that I'm worried about. If I was more committed to being a reality TV star, I would have to develop those qualities of maybe being more backstabbing, lying, and cheating type of player, but that's not me, and that's never going to be me. And I feel like in the entertainment industry, as far as professional actor, yeah, it also could be a detriment because, I think a lot of people in the industry like to take advantage of people who want to make a name for themselves because they see how hungry people are. But I've aligned myself properly with the right team to make sure that that never happens. And I fully trust them. And, as although my family is not part of my professional team, they're someone that I run everything by. And they're extremely supportive. And just like, you know, my managers and team, professional wise, my family is never going to let anything bad happen to me. So they'll always have my back and give me their opinion. And so I really just have the support and proper knowledge within myself and my family and friends and management team to make sure that anything like that never happens, which allows me to continue to be the golden doodle that I am as far as, being loyal, being, thankful for everything that happens and having a positive outlook on everything and being forgiven and stuff like that.
Who are some actors that inspire you, and what genre of acting is most appealing to you?
So Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet are great actors that I would love that I do look up to, and I think I would love to work with one day. But my dream role, which sadly I'm kind of growing out of, and is taken by an incredible actor, is Spider-Man. I've been dreaming of being Spider-Man. I think every single boy dreams about being Spider-Man at one point in their life. And so, that's a dream role, but I'm not going to take that from Tom, and I don't think I could take that from Tom. He's a very good actor. I don't think I have that ability, but one day, the one day is to be in a movie with him as my own superhero, someone that I put on the board. That would be an incredible uh, achievement, and it's actually something that I hope to check off my bucket list one day by being a Marvel or DC superhero. That would be incredible. I also am a huge fan of voiceover work. I absolutely love doing voiceover work, and I've had voiceover auditions before. Unfortunately, I've never booked as voiceover. I haven't had very much experience with it, but I have so much fun with it. It's something that I very much enjoy, and I would love to get more involved with that. So, with that being said, being a Disney, a voiceover actor in a Disney movie would be incredible. And even more specifically, if I have the talent one day to be a voiceover for a new prince or king or something like that, someone in power in a Disney movie, that would be incredible. That is something I'd love to check off my bucket list as well. So definitely a superhero, a Disney character, voiceover wise, and then besides that, action, action, man. Like I'm a physical guy. I showed it on the show. I would love to be someone that does my own stunts. So, an Indiana Jones type character, a Jason Bourne type character, someone that's on their feet doing stunts and, looking cool on camera all the time. That would be me.
Now, you have a passion for fitness. Hypothetically, let's say you were offered the role of Kingpin, and I don't know. I know you're around 165 pounds or so.
Hmm.
If you were asked to gain 150 pounds for the role of Kingpin or something like that, and you
Hmm.
couldn't wear a bodysuit, would you take the
Yeah,
part?
absolutely. I fully commit to being a character. I don't feel that I don't want my body to limit me because I think a lot of people, I guess I need to make it clear that when I train to be prepared. So I know what kind of roles I'm interested in, and I know what kind of roles I may be marketed as. And in my head, I'm marketing myself as someone who would be fit and athletic for now. But one day that could change. And if I had a role that would require that to change, my goal is acting. My goal is acting completely. My goal is not to be a fitness trainer. My goal is not to be an athlete. My goal is to be an actor and a very good actor. And so if there came a role where I would need to change my physique for a role, 100% I will do it. I will do it because that's what I'm doing now. I'm changing my physique for the roles I want to get. But if the role that allows me to make it big or a role that I have in the bag, if I were to change my physique, 100% I would do it. Although it may make me unhappy a little as far as the way I'm feeling, unhealthy maybe, or whatever it may be to slow me down, it's what I got to do. I'm an actor and I love living a character. Because, like I said this morning, I had an audition and so I woke up this morning and I was the character until the audition was over. After I was done filming the audition, I went back to being Christian. But this morning, I woke up a completely different person. I lived my life as that person. I ate breakfast as that person. I trained as that person. And man, it was fun. It was fun. I look forward to doing that with every character.
What aspects of fitness are similar to acting?
Interesting. I think the biggest aspect and the most important aspect is consistency. Uh, I know a lot of people say, and I also am a believer that, you shouldn't work out every day. You do need rest days. It's very much important, honestly. It really is. But that's not something I do. I don't take rest days. I understand the importance of it, and I may be putting myself at a disadvantage by not taking rest days. But I feel that if I have the time, whether it is 15 minutes on a treadmill versus an hour and a half, 2 hours of weightlifting, I just feel there should be no days off when it comes to wanting greatness. And I think that's related to acting as well. Honestly, not even just acting, to anything you want to pursue and be successful at. It's something you need to train every day. If you want to be a great baseball player, you need to hit the field every day. You need to swing the bat every day. You need to throw balls every day. You need to be living as someone who does it professionally. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who is a professional actor practices their art form every day. And so, this morning, I practiced 2 hours while filming for this script that I had to audition. And after we got off this phone call or this this podcast, I will be practicing another script with my friend. So practicing consistently is the biggest thing. Just like I did this morning with the gym, same thing. Woke up, went to the gym, and no days off. So it's the consistency in anything you want to achieve. That's the biggest thing.
So, in terms of tips for people to keep motivated and focused on maintaining a fitness regimen, you would highlight the consistency aspect.
Yeah, very, very much highlighted because even when the days where, like I said, I don't take rest days, but you know what? Sure, some days you can't make time to go to the gym. And guess what happens that day you can't go? You feel bad. I mean, I do. I don't go to the gym. I'm like, damn, I should have gone. I really should have gone. And now I feel bad. I don't feel as healthy. And what do you do to the next day? Oh, you work 2 times as hard. You make it up. And that's something that I do internally. I don't know if everyone's like that, but if I miss a day, I make it up the next day just by intensity. And I think that's very important.
Now, you also have done a reasonable amount of modeling. I ask this a lot of female guests on the show, but I think it applies to you as well. How can you overcome the perception some have that you're just a piece of meat to be objectified rather than a person of substance that has something meaningful to say?
Yeah, it's a good question. I really feel like the type of people that view you in that negative way as just like, an advertisement, something that you're really just promoting something else, or, your body is just being used in a way that isn't, it has no substance. I think the type of people that view modeling in that aspect aren't the people in the industry. And so when people have that opinion, it doesn't phase me at all because anyone who's in the industry knows that's not the case. And so I'm not very easily affected by people's opinions or their reactions to things. And so when I hear that opinion, I really just brush it off. It doesn't phase me. And there's a reason I didn't, not that I still am a model, but my primary focus is acting. And that's only because when you do say you're a model, yeah, there are these stereotypes that people have that there's no substance to you. But I think it's better off to kind of leave that in the dark, let people figure it out later or assume. And then once people get to know you, maybe find out later because then you realize you do have some substance. And it's really just on you to change people's opinions. So there's really not much you can do as far as publicly posting or anything like that. It's all about your social interactions with people. And as long as you are a person of substance, then that stereotype goes away pretty quickly.
And you have to have some thick skin because I noticed that when you had tweeted pictures from your shoot for the Perfect Man cover,
Yes, yes.
someone responded with a GIF of the Kardashian sisters slurping on popsicles,
Yep, yep.
and there was someone asking when you're starting your
Yep.
OnlyFans. So I guess you just have to
You do.
brush it
You do have
off.
thick skin for sure, and that's maybe not something that I addressed my answer, but 100% you have to have thick skin, and it's really just knowing you have to know yourself and to be confident with yourself, and as long as you know yourself well, you know the substance that you provide, with anything, then, that stuff won't phase you, and it doesn't phase me.
Now, ideally, what would the next 5 years look like for you? What would you like to be doing? Do you think it will be possible to balance all of your professional interests with personal well being?
Absolutely. In 5 years from now, like I said, I'm someone that likes to plan day to day. Don't- it's too overwhelming for me to plan too far ahead, but I have planned a year from now. And a year from now, I would love to be, I 100% would love to be the primary or star or, actor number one in a movie. But, you know, a year from now, who knows what could happen. And if I don't get the lead, I would love to be supporting. And if I don't get supporting, I would love to have one line. It's all about anything I do this year is one step closer to 5 years from now being where I do want to be, which is the lead of a movie, the lead of a TV show, eventually accepting awards. And that's any step I do today, anything I do today, one more hour of practice today will all lead to 5 years from now, accepting that award or having that role in as the lead in a movie. So 5 years from now, I think that with my balance of everything I want to do, really, I think I'll be able to achieve what I want. And like I said, like I said earlier, I have my family, my management, and I think they're all there to promote my career as much as my own personal happiness. And if anything were to step in the way of either of those things, I think I have them to count on as far as snapping me out of it and maybe prioritizing one of the two in order to, have a successful career and mentally stay healthy.
If the role is intriguing, would you be open to a small budget independent film or appearing on something that's on a small streaming platform? Because, I mean, going from a show that is on CBS to something that isn't necessarily as high profile but does spark your interest as an actor, is that something you're willing to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that because 100% that is something that not only am I looking forward to doing, but it's something that you need to do. I don't think that because I went on a show, I'm any better than anyone else. Those are the proper steps people take. When you want to be an actor, you take acting classes. I'm taking acting classes. When you want to be a successful actor, you do short films, you do commercials, you work your way up, you take those steps. And by me going on reality TV, that doesn't mean I all of a sudden have the skills to be a great actor. That doesn't mean anything. That just means, I had the personality to be watched on reality TV. And so I don't have that. I understand that none of that makes me qualified, which I'm glad I have that understanding because if I didn't, I may get upset. Like, why am I not getting these roles? Why am I not getting these opportunities? But that's okay because the show wasn't for actors. The show's for reality TV. I went on that show not as an actor. I went as the show as Christian Birkenberger. And so, I'm prepared to do everything I need to do just as any other actor would need to do in order to be successful. And that includes these short films or includes low budget movies, as long as, just like I would have said before going on the show, as long as the value is there. And I'm not even talking about financially. Of course, I'd love to get paid. Who wouldn't love to get paid for doing something they love, doing their job, doing something they invest in themselves? I'd love to get paid. But if it's something that I see myself benefiting from in some aspect, not only me, but me and my management, my team, then 100% I'm going to do it because me being on the show doesn't exempt me from any of these things. I absolutely need to do these things to succeed.
What are the difficulties as an actor of maintaining a work life balance? Because you had mentioned you had an audition today, you became immersed in that role, then you have to shut that off, become Christian for a while, do a
Yeah, yeah.
podcast interview, and then you're gonna prep, do some auditioning for another role, and you get immersed into that. So, how do you maintain that work life balance?
Right.
Where you're multiple people in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
day.
Trust me, it's tough, but it's one of those things that I signed up for this. I know what I signed up for. Just like I signed up for the show, there is stress in that comes from the social media of being on the show. So not only am I balancing being different humans every day as far as my character and personalities and balancing my workout routine and balancing interactions with family and mental health. I'm balancing all that stuff and I'm not doing very well, if I'm being honest. I'm not balancing it very well yet because as far as my commitment to all of those things, it's tough because I am fully committed to all of them. But I mean, can you really be fully committed to 8 different things? No, it's tough. So the most important thing is prioritizing uh, the number one focus. And I know the number one focus is the acting. So if I have to be a character in order to get an audition, like waking up this morning, being that character didn't allow me to go to the gym at the normal time that I go. But that's okay because my character didn't work out. My character didn't go to the gym. And so up until then, I wasn't Christian. I was that character. And so I didn't go to the gym. It threw my schedule off. And would that make Christian usually unhappy? Yeah, I'm a very routine person. But after I recorded my script, I was done. Then I'm Christian again. So I started my day as I would, and I went to the gym. So it's all about rearranging and adjusting, just like anything. I think it's all about adjustments in order to make everything work. So yeah, some things had to get put on the back burner today, but it was all for a good purpose, and I prioritized what needed to get done first. Most important thing, number one, acting. That was the first thing I did. That was the first thing I did this morning. That's out of the way. Number two, training. Got that out of the way. Number three, I need to come home. I had this podcast. I need to eat. That's, of course, important. I need to spend time with friends, family, or at least have some form of communication because that's what goes into mental health. And for me, at least. And I end up making it work. But that's something that I'm figuring out as I go along because it is a lot.
And what is one thing that you would like to say to listeners of the show that we didn't happen to cover?
Really, I hope that you continue to follow me. That's really it because I do support, or I do love your support, all the viewers' supports, all my fans' supports, and without you guys, I really wouldn't be as motivated to succeed because there was a huge change in motivation since coming off the show. I'm definitely more motivated now that I have an audience that not only wants me to succeed as much as I do, but looks forward to it. And so I think to myself, you know what? If there's days where I'm slacking, I feel, not as motivated, don't do it for just myself. Do it for you guys because you guys believe in me. Do it for my family because they believe in me. Do it for my friends. So I just hope you continue to support me because that is a huge motivational part of my day that really pushes me through to balance all these things out and push through and become successful.
Well, Christian, I wish you well in your endeavors in acting. I think you're going to do well. At the very least, I expect you to be Spider-Man in the animated version of the Disney Plus show for.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
But I wish you well, and Great A Nation, I want you to support Christian Birkenberger. We'll see you next time on Great A Nation. Take care.